And good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Pro Baseball Experience Season 34 Major League World Series. How's it going, everyone? Hope you're having a great weekend. I'm your host, Legally Blind Gamer. Tonight, we've got the New Orleans Rougarous versus the San Antonio Sloths. What a great matchup. Sloths, previous champions from last season, trying to hold on to the title for yet another year. We'll have to see how that goes. Rougarous, it's been a while since they've been in the playoffs, but to get right back in the saddle into the World Series, so crazy, so crazy. But lots of great info to go over here and match up tonight. But before we get started, let's go ahead and introduce my co-hosts. They just did the Minor League World Series earlier, where the Amarillo Armadillos beat the Puerto Rico Ranas to win the Season 34 Minor League World Series in a dramatic 7-game series. So before we get started with the majors, let's talk about that one first. Starting off with our first co-host, here with me last week for the end of the season, and now with me for the World Series, Lumosity Fan. How's it going, Lumosity Fan?
I'm doing well. My voice is not completely shot, which is amazing. Uh, as you
Nice.
can see right now, some of the effects are still kicking in, but I'll be fine. So,
Oh, awesome. Well, you watched great. What a great series you saw earlier and called the matches for. The fact that it went to 7 games and right down to the wire with just a couple innings to go. It was so close until that last home run. Did you have a lot of fun? What was that like? Jeez.
oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, obviously, I was very sad by it, but either way, I was just like, this is a very good series. And congrats to the Dillos again. That was an amazing run by them, and yeah, I mean, that was just one of the most thrilling things I've ever done in my life. So
Nice. Yeah, it's always great. I remember my first World Series when I did that, and so long ago. But there's just nothing like it, especially when it goes to 7 games. I've done 7 games a
yeah.
few times now, and wow, it's just crazy how it just goes down to the wire like that. All right, well let's see if our other co-host is here, who also did the minor league World Series as well, and also has a player in tonight's Major League World Series, Anchovy. Sarah, are you there?
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
hello.
Hopefully my audio isn't too bad. I didn't do a check, so.
Yeah, let me pull that up here just a second while we've got you.
Yeah,
And
for the record, I just been running around since the Myers World Series, so yeah, I get food and everything, so I just joined. So
all right, well it does have you a little bit high here. Let me just turn you down just a hair
yeah,
there. There we go.
that's fine.
There we go. All right, you're right about at the edge of the top of the yellow, so that's about perfect
Yeah,
there.
all right. Yeah, I'll try to not speak that loud mostly because my voice is still dead. So.
Unless something exciting happens, and go for it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, welcome to both of you. The first time I think I've done the World Series with you both, and so this is going to be a great series here for us. The San Antonio Sloths, defending World Series champions. I remember looking at the stats earlier. The New Orleans Rougarous have not been in the playoffs for 6 seasons. 6 seasons now. They've had a playoff drought. It's been 10 seasons since they were in a World Series, and it's been 12 seasons since they won a World Series. And in those 6 seasons that they weren't even here, the Sloths won, 2 World Series in that time. Hope might have a chance here for their third. So, team in rebuild mode, coming back from rebuild, able to get back into the World Series versus the defending champs. This is going to be crazy. This is going to be awesome. All right, so before we get started here, let's go ahead and talk about our game number one matchups. Right now, I've already confirmed with all the GMs that we are set for game number one. The matchups are all good. So let's go ahead and take a look at our pitching here. Starting off with game number one, Straight Gas Homie for New Orleans, who has a playoff record of 1 win, 2 losses, and a 3.16 ERA, versus Shoto Todoroki, 1-1 record with a 4.29 ERA. So Todoroki with the better win-loss record, Homie with the better ERA. It's going to be very interesting to see how this first game matches up. But if we could, it does look like we do have our first prediction going for the night. So if you'd like to go ahead and bet some of your channel points on this first game here, total strikeouts of over under 14.5. So is it going to be 15 strikeouts or more 14 strikeouts or less. Now's your chance to earn some channel points. Looks like we already have a pretty healthy total in on under. Oh, some overs came in as well. But taking a look at our matchup here, it does look like a 7-2 advantage for San Antonio. But the leadoff batter here, Anchovy, is unfortunately outclassed here just barely by W.R. Wolf at the starting position, and then we have down further at Jet Stargasm versus Ezra Oatmeal. So those are the two standouts for New Orleans on the batting side. But if we look down here at pitching, both pitchers at 80 overall. So number one starters. Maxed out pitchers. This is going to be a very interesting pitchers duel, and can San Antonio overcome with their batting as well? We'll have to see as we're going to get started here in just a minute when the prediction ends. But I think the way we're going to do this is we'll start off with Sarah doing the first 3 innings, Lumosity the second 3, and I'll finish this out. The last 3 for game 1, and then we'll just rotate as we go through the games. And if we do extra innings, we'll just do 1 inning each and just rotate through those as well. Looks like our prediction is just about done. Go ahead and get your channel points in. Total strikeouts of 14.5. It looks like right now under is at 63%, over is at 37%. And looks like our timer is just about over. So we're going to go ahead and get started for game number 1. Before we do, let me just go ahead and check my Discord here, make sure I do not have any outstanding DMs or anything like that, so we can make sure we're all set for game number 1. Let's see here. I don't see anything up here. All right, so it looks like we are all good, and so we're going to get started, and Sarah's going to start us off with W.R. Wolf, our first batter up for the Rougarous. Game number 1.
Alright, so we're going to start off with Rougarou batting here. Rougarou with the classic lefty lineup versus the classic San Antonio right lineup, and W.R. Wolf is going to start off by striking out to a good first out here, first loss. Eddie Gard is going to strike out as well, so 2 straight strikeouts here for Shoto Todoroki. And what would count here as we have a fly ball to center field that is going to be caught by Trevon Knight, and that is going to end it in for Rougarou. Now going on to San Antonio, Anchovy, my player dies so willingly despised, is now up and is going to take a walk. Oh, that's early. Trevon Knight is now going to hit one. It's going to go deep right field. Now it's going to be a 2-run bomb by Trevon Knight. And San Antonio are going to take a 2-0 lead to start this game off.
Out of the park.
And now Ivan Don Jr. going to strike out for first out for San Antonio. Portra Sandwiches. Gonna take a walk. Double is 3 dot. Now watching as Portra Sandwiches tries to steal second, and Sandwiches is safe. 3 dot. Step up. Get a strike out for the second out. And now we have Eshelman with runner scoring position. Gonna hit one. That's gonna go to left field, and they're gonna try and go home, and this they're gonna be throw. Yes, Sandwiches is gonna make it home, and now San Antonio has a 3-0 lead in the first inning. Ezra O'Neal now steps in and is going to strike out. So that is going to end the inning, but San Antonio already here with 2 hits and 3 runs. Rougarou now will be a bit behind here in the second inning. Looking to take a stand-up and strike out for the first out. Hafner coming in, striking out as well. Todoroki, 4th strikeout of the game already. Now one count is going to be a hit to the second baseman, and that is going to be a throw out. Rougarou still with no hits here. San Antonio at the bottom second. Big Vito going to lead us off. Left a strikeout. That's going to be first out. Sneaky snack now up. Oh, count. Going to hit one. That is going to get past the second baseman. Going to center field. And sneaky second is going to make it first base. Anchovy will run on first. Going to hit a pop-up. As per usual. And it's going to be caught by catcher. Trevon Knight now hit a home run earlier, but it's going to strike out here, and that's going to allow the second inning to end. Now, top of the third, we're going to have a diving catch in right field.
Wow.
Jet Stargasm is going to be out. Cross Erickson going to strike out. That's kind, stepping up. 1-1 count. Going to be hit to first base, is going to get to it, and the pitcher makes it first base. That's going to be a throw out as we now go to the bottom third. Going McDonald Jr. hits one. It's going to be in shallow left field, going to be caught. Worked on sandwiches. Taking and walks, and now runners on first base here for Theophilus. Sweet dot. 1 to count. Strikeout for a Sweet dot and Eshelman here. With a runner on first. They're going to watch as Porter Sanders tries to make it to second again, and he does. So Eshelman 3-2 count. Good strikeout. So that is going to get the third inning. Now we move on to the Lumosity fan.
Yes, the top of the 4th inning here in Game 1 of the World Series with W.R. Wolf on a full count. Wolf strikeout swinging for the first out of the inning. Next up is Eddie Garr, who will strike out looking. So 2 out now in the top of the 4th with Park Factors on a full count. We'll get a ground ball to second to first for the out. So New Orleans still without a hit here as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Starting with Ezra Oatmeal, who will strike out swinging. 1 out now in the bottom of the 4th. Now Big Vito will hit a fly ball that the center fielder will catch for the out, for the second out. Next up is Sneaky Snake, and he will strike out looking. So a 1-2-3 inning for Stray Gas Homie as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Tedford Wolfington up to bat now, and he will get a base hit through the right side. So that is the first hit and base runner for the Rougarou. And there's a ground ball to shortstop to second to first for the double play. 2 out now for Ortega. He swings and gets a pop up to second for the out. So New Orleans unable to capitalize there. We head to the bottom of the 5th with Anchovy, and she will get a base hit through the gap there to the left side, and it will be a double. So runner on second with no out here for Trevor Knight, and there's a steal and wow. So gutsy base running doesn't pay off, and there's a fly ball to left field right there for Knight, and Bobby McDonald Jr. will get a fly ball to the first baseman there to end the inning. That's at the top of the 6th inning with Jet Stargasm, who gets a fly ball to center field and caught for the out. Next up is Klaus Eriksson, and that's a ground ball to second to first for the out. Next up is Ness Kind, who will strike out swinging. So that will end the inning for the Rougarou. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. And there's a ground ball to first to the pitcher out there. Next up is Suadat, who will strike out swinging. 10 strikers for Stray Gas Homie, 2 out in the bottom of the 6th. Next up is Eshelman, who will get a base hit through the right side. He will stay at first, so runner on first with 2 out now. A substitution here, Cassius Bright in the game, and that's a walk for Ezra Oatmeal. So runners on first and second with 2 out now for Vito, and he will strike out swinging. So San Antonio unable to tag on more. We head to the top of the 7th with a legally blind gamer.
Top of the 7th and top of the order for the Rougarous here as we have Wolf, Gar, and Factors. And Wolf, look at this, hard hit ball towards right field, and that is out of here. And it is now 1-3 as the Rougarous finally get one on the board here in the top of the 7th. And wow, that one hit 422 feet. And cold hitter Gar hits to the shortstop, and that is out number 1. Park Factor's up now, striking out, and that'll bring up Wolfington. Tedford Wolfington with 2 outs. And this is going to be a fly out here to center field, and that will retire the side. But New Orleans gets 1 on the board. We now move to stretch time. Bottom of the 7th. San Antonio up by 2. Bottom of their lineup here, and a leadoff walk here from Sneaky Snake, and that'll bring up Anchovy, 1 on with no outs. Anchovy takes a walk as well, and we're in some trouble here as Cassius Bright has 2 on here and another walk. And if they don't pull Bright here, this could spell some big trouble for the Rougarous. Infield playing in, and that is past the second baseman. 1 runner comes in. It is now 4-1. Still no outs here. Still not a pitching change. Infield playing in again. Second baseman goes home. They get the out at home, but not at first. We now have 2 outs. It is 4-1 still. Now they get the pitching change in. Infield still playing in. We're going to get the fly out here to right field. The throw coming home, but it's not going to be in time. And oh boy, Pax Torrent coming into some problems here for the Rougarous as another run scores. 2 on, but they do get the strikeout here and able to finish this inning out. But the damage was done as now San Antonio's up by 4. Top of the 8th we go. This one past the second baseman, and Hafner on with a leadoff single. And that'll bring up Ortega. And, oh, they get the runner at second, but not Ortega at first. Jet Stargasm now, and this looks like to be a flyout here to left field. 2 outs now for cold hitter Cross Erickson. Hard hit ball from Cross Erickson towards left field, and that is out of here. That is a 2-run blast, and just like that.
But not apparently. It got caught in the wall.
Park.
Yeah, it got caught in the wall.
Oh.
Yes.
Triple.
It's a triple.
Oh, it's
I
a
mean,
triple. Oh boy. All right, sorry about that. I got ahead of myself there. Well, they did score 1 run, and they're going to get a walk now, so they do have runners at the corners with 2 outs. And a strikeout there, leaving those runners stranded, but they do get that 1 on there. Now trail by 3, but San Antonio coming up, bottom of the 8th, bottom third of their lineup. Leadoff strikeout here from Ezra Oatmeal, and that brings up Big Vito. Vito towards center field, and a sliding catch by the center fielder. That is out number 2. Sneaky Snack will strike out as well, and New Orleans gets out of that one. And here we go, 3 outs remaining. We have Gar, Factors, and Wolfington. Need to get 3 runs just to tie it up. Gar, leadoff strikeout, and that'll bring up Park Factors. And Factors being patient there, getting the walk. We now have a runner at first and Wolfington up. And Wolfington, oh boy, and now the tying run comes to the plate, and Todd Hafner, who had the hit earlier. Hafner striking out. Last chance here. Ortega. And Ortega strikes out, and the San Antonio Sloths win Game 1 of the Season 34 Major League World Series with the score of 5-2. Wow, all right, well, let's take a look at our box scores here. Taking a look first at the New Orleans batting lineup, we do have the hit and RBI there from Wolf, hit and RBI as well from Cross Erickson. Over on the San Antonio end, 2 runs, a hit, and 2 RBIs from Trevon Knight, 2 walks from Pork Chop Sandwiches, 2 hits from Eshelman, and it looks like that's just about it for multi-hit games. Over on the other side for New Orleans, pitching-wise, Straight Gas Homie taking their 3rd loss of the postseason. And on the other end for San Antonio, Todoroki gets their 2nd win. With Shota Todoroki, who went 8.1 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 11 strikeouts, 112 pitches, is your player of the game. And if we take a look at our strikeout totals here, well over the prediction there. So it looks like the overs won our first prediction of the night. So there we go. Let's go ahead and move on to game number 2, and we'll take a look at our stamina for our pitchers here. We'll go ahead and do a file save, and we'll start off with the Rougarous. And our scheduled starter, McThorn Buddy, is at 100% rested. Moving through our relievers here, 100% for Bravo, Yakul Red at 100%. Bright at 62%, slightly tired. Pax Torrent at 84% rested. Jethro Tull at 100%. Chank Daly at 100%. And Aiden McDougal at 100%. Moving on now to the Sloths.
The Sloth says they're all good for Game 2. So
they're all good for Game 2.
You also said in the chat, so.
Okay. All right. Well, Joseph says they're good for Game 2. If I remember correctly, Eldorian for the Rougarous said that unless there was some major pitching issues with extra innings, they were good for Game 2. But let me go ahead and take a look here just to be sure in their channel. There it is. All right. Let's see here. If it goes into super extra innings and our entire bullpen is gassed. All right, so otherwise, after Game 3, we're going to switch to a 2-man rotation. So we have first, second, and third games for Eldorian. Looks like they've already locked in. I'll just give everybody just another 30 seconds here, so just to see if Eldorian has anything they want to add. But I believe we are good for all of that. Let's go ahead and go back to our matchups here for game number 2. And here we go. So we have Gristle McThorn Buddy, a 1-1 record, 6.64 ERA for New Orleans versus the Sloths Glenn Davies, a 2-0 record with a 5.79 ERA. So both pitchers with a pretty high ERA here in the postseason. Let's go ahead and take a look at the batting now, see if those are still the same. And no, this is different this time, as Park Factors and WR Wolf are the changes rather than being further down here. So Still a 7-2 advantage. Let me go ahead and pull up the thing here for our, and it doesn't look like anybody's Nylar. If you're there, if you could start a prediction for game number 2, and we'll go
They
ahead and
did
get.
that already.
Oh, they've already done that. Oh, so it's already
Total
closed.
hits over under 19.5.
Oh, there we go. All right, so it looks
Yes.
like over is at 48%, under is at 52%. So pretty close there on that one. And so on this one, game 2, I'll go ahead and do the first 3, Sarah, second 3, Lumosity will finish this out as we get started with game number 2 of the Season 34 Major League World Series, and WR Wolf is our first batter up. Second game being played in San Antonio, who had the advantage in the regular season with the extra wins to get the home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And we'll get a strikeout here to start us off from Wolf, and that'll bring up Gar. Gar's still on a cold streak here. And Gar's strikeout as well, so 2 strikeouts already, and Park Factors comes up. Factors to the shortstop, and they make the play. A 1-2-3 inning. We now move to the bottom of the first. Loss coming up now. And Chovy, our first batter. Chovy to the shortstop, and that is out number 1. Knight now, and Knight will take a walk. Oh no, he got hit.
Hit pitch,
Hit batsman, and that'll be a base for them as this one's hit deep towards left field, and that is out of here. 2-run blast, and just like that again in the first inning, the Sloths take the lead with a home run.
Out of the park.
All right, Sloths starting off quickly. And here we go. Still just 1 out here as there we go. A strikeout from McDonald Jr. finally gets us 2 outs as, look at that, Jimenez moving to hot hitter status now over on the side there for the Sloths as that is out, and that'll take us to the top of the second. New Orleans down by 2. Wolfington up. Strikes out looking for out number 1. Todd Hafner now. Hafner to the shortstop, and that is out number 2. And Ortega, this will be an infield flyout to, it looks like, I guess, the pitcher there. And that's a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the second we go. San Antonio still up by 2. This one hit over the shortstop's head in the center, and Suadot gets on with the base hit. Eshelman now with 1 on, and this looks like an over in foul territory. Flyout right at the edge there. Strikeout from Ezra Oatmeal. Now we have 2 outs for Sneaky Snack with 1 on. Hard hit ball from Sneaky Snap going back towards deep center field, caught before the warning track though, and that'll retire the side, leaving that runner stranded. Top of the third we go, 2-0 San Antonio still. Jet Stargasm, our next batter up, and the shortstop, what a play by the San Antonio shortstop to scoop that ball up while they were sliding on the dirt, as they're going to get out number 2 here as well, and just like that, Ness Kind is up, and a line drive right to the first baseman. And that's a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the third we go. San Antonio, top of their lineup again. And Chovy, hard hit ball towards right field, but it does not have the distance, unfortunately, and that is out number 1 with the fly out. And this one dropped in front of the right fielder, and Trayvon Knight is on with 1 out. Hot hitter Jimenez, who had that home run earlier, is going to fly out here to right field, and that is out number 2. That brings up Bobby McDonald Jr. McDonald Jr. and a line drive right to the left fielder will retire the side. That takes us now to the top of the 4th. San Antonio up by 2, and here's Sarah.
All right, so now starting off in the top of the 4th is WR Wolf. He's going to hit 1 shortstop to get to it. Throws out as he on number 1. Eddie Gar now stepping up. Gonna be walking as Eddie Gar. Cool hitter does make it to first base here for Park Factors, who's going to hit it to the gap, and that's going to land at the wall. They're not going to try and run for home, so now it's Ted Wolfington with 2 runners in scoring position. One that is going to be coming in shallow left, and that's going to be caught. Now 2 outs here. We have a single hit to center field. 1 run scores, 2 runs trying to score, and it's going to be a tie game top of the 4th inning. Todd after 2 RBI single. Now also managed to get on second base here, so another runner in scoring position, but Nigel Ortega is going to hit a pop-up. Going to be caught by shortstop, and we're now in the bottom 4th inning, now where the game is now tied. 2-1 count, and that one is going to be hit by pork chop sandwiches to center field for a leadoff single. Hits one. First baseman's going to get to it, but we have another OTB Classic where the ball doesn't get to first base in time. It's just one of those animations you see a lot and are frustrated about every single time. But now we have Brian Eshelman now who's gonna hit one deep center field. First gonna tag, but now this one's gonna land, and the Sloths are gonna regain their lead, allowing the runner to make it to home plate. Now it's gonna be runs on first and second here for Sneaky Snack. This one's gonna be in shallow center field. And Chovy now stepping up to strike out probably. But that was actually going to be single. They're not going to try to run for home though, so now it's bases low for Trevon Knight, who hit a home run earlier. 0-2 count. This one's going to be out of catcher. Catcher advantage to throw the first base, and that is going to strand the bases loaded. Now, coming up now is just Stargasm, the shortstop. Hits one. That's going to be through to left field for a single. Ross Erickson. 2-2 count, get a strikeout. Next kind here, 3-2 count is gonna hit one. And that's gonna go above the center fielder's head, so now it's runners on second. And third, Next kind gonna try and make it third. He's gonna do it.
Oh boy.
No, wait, triple for Next kind is gonna tie the game up, so now there's another runner on third base though, so now they're gonna make a ground ball, even though they field in, Costa Sanchez is gonna get to it. Now we have a pop-up here. And they're gonna strand the runner on third here, despite 1 out. So now Chris Jimenez, the hot hitter, is gonna come up. Who's gonna hit 1-2 to the pitcher. Pitcher is gonna throw to first base. That is gonna be caught for the first out by McDonald Jr. Pops one out. First base is gonna catch it. Pork chop sandwiches here in the play. 3-0 count is gonna watch as ball 4 comes in, and if you have one sweet dot. First one informed by Coco getting tired. If Yapala Sweet Dot is gonna make it to first base as well, so it's running first and second for Brian Eshelman. It's gonna get walked again, so control issues here right now. It's all to Ezra O'Mail, the hero of last season. It's gonna hit one, but that is gonna be caught in right field. So the bases are stranded loaded once again. So now on the top of 6, we have Park Factors here for Ruguru. On 0-2 count is gonna hit one through the middle, and that is gonna allow Park Factory's gonna lead off single once again. Then Wolfington on 3-2 count is gonna pop one up to center field, and that is gonna be caught. Todd Hafner gonna hit 1-2 left field. That's gonna drop. So running first and second here for Nigel Ortega. Ortega on 1-0 count hits one. Left fielder's gonna get to it. Instead of left field, and with 2 outs here is Jet Sargasm 1-2 count, gonna strike out, and that is gonna end the inning. Here we now gone to bottom of the 6th, 0-2 count for a Sneaky Snack. Yakura stepping in now for New Orleans, is gonna strike out, and Chovy hits one. That is gonna be caught in center field with a leaping catch. Trevon Knight now.
Oh, another one.
Hits one to center field once again, and that's gonna be caught. Now we got the Lumasi call last three.
Yes, top of the 7th here for New Orleans will be Cross Erickson. And that's a fly ball to center field, and they'll be caught out there for the first out of the inning. Next up is Ness Kine, and he will get a base hit right through the left side there, just by the shortstop. He will stay at first for Wolf. And that's a fly ball to shortstop there for the second out. Next up is Gaw. And he will get a base hit to the left side. The runner stays at second, first and second, 2 out. Constantly counting the game, and that's a fly ball to left field and caught out there for the last out of the inning. So New Orleans unable to capitalize there. Head to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch for Chris Jimenez. And that's a base hit just to the left side, past the third baseman there. Runner will go to second, and he'll be safe. So runner on second for Bobby McDonald Jr. And that's a fly ball, and that is out of here. A 2-run shot by Bobby McDonald Jr. that'll give the Sloths a 5-3 lead. All that stretching did
Out of the park.
Pork chop sandwiches in the game now. That's a strikeout swinging there for sandwiches. So that's the first out of the inning. Next up is Suadot, and he will get a fly ball that is caught by the shortstop for the second out. Next up is Eshelman. And he will get a fly ball that will be in the gap there for a base hit. And he'll go into sliding into a second with a double. So man on second with 2 out now for Oatmeal. And that's a nice play by the shortstop to the first for the out there. But San Antonio takes the lead here. We'll see if New Orleans can answer at the top of the 8th, starting with Wolfington. And that's a base hit right up through the middle there. So runner on first with no out for Hafner. And that's
Oh,
a
boy.
fly ball, and that is
Oh.
caught. Wow, that was a teaser.
Close.
Next up is Ortega, and he strikes out looking for the second out. Next up is Stargasm, and he takes a walk. So runners on first and second with 2 out now for Cross Erickson. And that is into the gap, and that's a base hit. One run will score, the other one will come around, and he will score. So we have a tie game all of a sudden, thanks to Cross Erickson's RBI
Wow.
triple. Next up is Kine, and that's a base hit up through the middle, and the New Orleans Ruger will take the lead here, 6-5 in the 8th. Clutch hitting by the 8 and 9 hitters. Next up is Wolf, and he will strike out swinging. But what a rally by the Rougarou. 3 runs in the top of the 8th. We'll see if the slots can answer. At the bottom of the 8th, starting with Sneaky Snake. And that's a fly ball to the third baseman there for the out. Next up it's Chovy, who will get a fly ball into the gap there for a base hit. That should be a double, and it is. So runner on second with 1 out for Trevon Knight. And we have a substitution, Sierra Bravo in the game now. And that's a ground ball to second to first for the out. Runner goes to third with 2 out. Next up is Jimenez, and he takes a walk. So runners on first and third with 2 out now for Bobby McDonald Jr. And Chank Daly's in the game now for New Orleans. And that's a fly ball that should be caught by the center fielder, and it is. So New Orleans able to wiggle themselves out of that one. They have a final chance probably to get some more runs. Oh, and that's a fly ball, and that's it, out of here. A solo home run for Eddie Ball.
Out of the park.
Just as San Antonio came into the game, and New Orleans expands their lead to 7-5. Yes, the fans are booing because, of course. Next up is Factors. And that's a ground ball to second to first for the out there. Next up is Wolfington. And he was strikeout swinging, so that's the second out of the inning there. Next up is Hafner with a full count. And he will take a walk. So continued booing by the crowd there as they get a... Oh, and that's a pickoff throw, and he's out. Wow. That is not the way you want to go to try to expand the lead. So final 3 outs possibly for the Slots. We'll see if they can tie or win the game. And that's a ground ball to second to first for the out by Sandwiches. That's 1 out there. Next up is Suadot. And that's a fly ball. Oh boy, and that is caught. Wow, that was another teaser. That's 2 out there. Last chance for Eshelman. And he gets a ground ball to first to take it to the bag for the out, and that is the ball game. New Orleans able to tie the series up 1-1 now.
Wow.
What a game.
Alright guys, I'll call the box scores here. So yeah, 2 or 4 for Eddie Gar, 2 runs here. 1 RBI, and it's going to get player game, I believe. Now 2 or 4 for Todd Hafner, 1 for 3 with 2 runs for Just Sarcasm, 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs for Klaus Erickson, 3 or 4 for Ness Kine with 2 RBIs. San Antonio is going to have 2 for 5 for Anchovy, 2 or 4 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs for Chris Jimenez, 2 RBIs for Bobby McDonald Jr., 2 or 4 for Diablo Sweet Dot. On the New Orleans side, we have Cool Red get the win in relief. Sorry, scroll down. Shank Daly getting the save, and Causing Khan is going to take the loss here. Eddie Garza player of the game.
All right. Before we move on here, let me go ahead. Well, let's go ahead and file save. Definitely.
Yes.
Yes, let's go ahead and do that. All right. Now let me go ahead and fix the banner here real quick.
All right. Looks like we're doing some more changes.
Good to know. Nope. And Joseph says all good.
Also no changes. All right. This is we are
wow.
We are speed tonight, I guess.
Good.
Okay.
I mean,
no changes for Game 3 for the Rougarous. Checking over here on the Sloths. Let's go ahead and move on to the next sim day so we can look at the stamina for the Sloths here.
No, they're good. They're good. They're good.
Sloths are good as well.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Amazing.
So, well, nothing to change as we are now 3 games into this series.
I know it's different. This is so different compared to Myers World Series. I changed
Yes.
I changed 2 entire lineups.
Yeah, that was rough.
Just let it ride, right? All
Just let
right,
OG Goalkeeping do it. Just at this
right.
point.
All right. Well, our prediction is up. We have total runs of it looked like 10.5 there. Over under, yeah, 10.5. So is it going to be 11 runs or more, or 10 runs or less? So if we were looking at over, so it'd be like 6-5, 7-4, something like that or above. So now's your chance to get in your channel points for game number 3. Let's go ahead and take a look at our matchups for this game. And I guess I should have done the other screen first. We're going to go back and start off with the pitchers here as the Sloths now are playing away. We are now playing in New Orleans as Savanale Kudowitz coming up as our starting pitcher for the Sloths, 1-0 record with a 2.45
Out of
ERA
the park.
versus CC Bouchard 0-0 record, 5.06 ERA. And Dimp just subscribing 15 months with Prime now. Rubes literally have to win. So thank you so much, Dimp, for 15 months of Prime subscription. Wow, over a year now. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our batting lineups. And here we go. So looks like the same as before with the first and third spot going to the Rougarous, but it's 7-2 advantage overall. We do have the advantage here in the pitching. It was 67 overall for Kudowitz versus 49 overall for Bouchard. So pretty big advantage here in the pitching end for the Sloths. We'll see if they can use that to their advantage as we're going to get started now with game number 3. The series tied at 1-1, and Lumosity fans going to get us started here with Anchovy, our first batter up.
Yep. Started game 3. Anchovy Anchovy up the bat with CC Bouchard.
Whoa!
Oh, and interesting. Okay, well we have a nice view here. For the first, let's see what happens. That's a ground ball. I think that's to the third baseman to first for the out. So yeah,
Let us fix that. Oh boy.
I mean, I could do that on my own time, but maybe not for a World Series.
All right, so this is the Polo Grounds. I'm not sure if you've ever used this custom Polo Grounds before, but the background
blocking, yeah.
the background is there. We go wide low.
That's good.
All right,
That
wide
works.
low.
That's fine.
That'll
Nice.
work. All right, so
Oh,
we'll do
boy.
wide low for all 3.
Thanks, New Orleans.
There
It's
we
okay.
go. All right.
All right, Trevor Knight up the bat now, and he will get a ground ball to short to and that's an error there. So the game listened to us. They realized, oh, we want chaos. So that's a runner on second now for Chris Jimenez, and that's a fly ball to the shorts. No, the pitcher. Nice move there. So that's the second out for Bob McDonald Jr. He was strikeout swinging, so a scoreless inning for New Orleans will Slots technically. So we'll see if New Orleans can get a run here. With W.R. Wolf, who will get a base hit right through the middle there, right past the second baseman for a single. Next up is Park Factors, and that's a fly ball to the left fielder there, who will catch it for the out. Runner stays on first. He's safe there for Eddie Gott, and that's a stolen base attempt, and he is out.
Oh.
So it doesn't work there for them, and that's a swinging bunt for the batter there for an out, and that will retire the side. So New Orleans unable to take advantage of that base runner. We head to the top of the second with pork chop sandwiches, and that's a swinging butt, and that's a base hit there, an infield hit for sandwiches for Suadine. That's a stolen base attempt, and that is and that's linked into the center field there. So sandwiches go to third for Suadine, and he would take a walk there. So runners on first and third now for Eshelman on a full count, and he will get a swing, and that's an out there, and he will tag and go and be safe. So the first run of the ball game belongs to the Slots. It's 1-0. As that's how Oatmeal comes to the bat, and he will get a base hit into the gap there. The runners keep moving, and it's go all the way to the wall, and they will stay at second and third. So runners on second and third with 1 out for Sneaky Snake, and he will strike out swinging for the second out. Next up is Anchovy, and she will take a walk there for bases loaded for and that's a base hit into the gap there. It's gonna get ugly. 1 run will score, 2 runs, 3 runs will score, and that's a bases clearing double by Trevor Knight to make a 4-0 San Antonio. Full count for Jimenez, and that's another base hit just past the second baseman there. 1 run will score there, and 5-0 now. Oh boy.
Ouch.
Yeah. Next up is Bobby McDonald Jr., who was strikeout swinging to end the New Orleans Rougarous' misery, but 5 runs in the top of the second.
They already called reliever.
Oh boy. And that's a strikeout looking for Wolfington for the first out of the inning. Next up is Hafner, and he will get a base hit up the middle, so he's doing his best to try to answer here. Runner on first with 1 out for Ortega, and he will get an... Oh, that's an out there at second. And that's a base hit through the middle there. Runner will go to third, and it's safe there. So runners on first and third with 2 out. And that's a fly ball that is caught by the center fielder there to end the inning. So New Orleans unable to answer. We head to the top of the third with Puck Charge Simmons, and that's a base hit into the gap there. It'll go all the way to the wall. He will not go for the third. It's a double for Puck Charge Sandwiches. Next up is Suidot, and that's a fly ball that the center fielder will approach and catch for the out. Runner stays at second for Eshelman. And that's a stolen base attempt, and he is safe. So runners on third for 1 out, and that is a wild pitch, and he is safe. So 6-0
Fumble
now.
bumble.
And now it's a full count. He gets a ground ball to second to first for the out there. So 2 out now for Oatmeal. And that is a base hit up the middle there for a single. So next up is Snake. And that's a stolen base attempt, and he is safe. And that's a base hit up to the right side there. The runner will... Oh, and it's what a throw.
Whoa.
Wow, and he is out. So that's some clutch throwing there by the right fielder there. So they're able to... San Antonio's able to get a run there. Cross Erickson's batting, and there was a fly ball to right field for the out. Next up is Wolf, and that's a swinging, and that's out there by the batter. And next up is Factors, and that's a nice catch there by the second baseman there. So 1-2-3 inning for San Antonio. We head to the top of the fourth.
All right, top of the order for the Sloths. Anchovy coming up first. Anchovy to the gap on the right side, and that's going to be a base hit. Chovy on with a single to start us off here, and Knight is up. Chovy going to second, and they are safe, and that is stolen base number 7 of the postseason as Knight strikes out, and that brings up hot hitter Jimenez. And Chovy going for third, and they got thrown out just like earlier. Oh, twice now, and Chovy going for third and gets thrown out as they get the strikeout to finish the inning. Oh, that was a brutal inning for San Antonio as New Orleans comes up now top of the fourth. This is going to be a flyout over here towards foul territory left side, and Gar is out. Wolfington comes up next and strikes out. And now Todd Hafner. Hafner to the first baseman, walks over to the bag, makes the play, and that'll retire the side. Top of the fifth we go now. McDonald Jr. now line drive right to the third baseman for out number 1. Pork chop sandwiches. Pork chop to the third baseman, and third baseman getting a workout here this inning as that is out number 2 for them. And Suidot will take a walk as we now have 1 runner on with 2 outs for Eshelman. Ryan Eshelman striking out as well, and that'll retire the side, leaving the runner stranded halfway through the game. San Antonio is up 6-0. New Orleans, with only 3 hits and 2 errors, need to get something going this game, as that is a leadoff out for Ortega. And Jet Stargasm striking out, and we're already at 2 outs here with Ness Kind coming up. Kind, hard hit ball towards right center field. That will be caught though, and that retires the side. We now move to the top of the 6th. Ezra Oatmeal. Another hard hit ball towards right field. This one is caught. Out number 1. Over towards left side. This is in the gap on the left side, and that will be a double for Sneaky Snack. That brings us back to the top of the lineup. Anchovy with a runner in scoring position. They do make a... Oh, no, and we're going to get a pass ball here, and that'll let Chovy move to third. Right past the shortstop, and that's going to be an RBI single here for Anchovy. Chovy now at first, and they're going to second, and they're going to be safe. A line drive right to the right fielder. Chovy staying on second, and that'll bring up Jimenez. Jimenez through the gap in center. Chovy coming around to score, and that makes the score now 8-0 San Antonio as they now get 2 in this inning. Runner at first, and this is a hard hit ball towards... Where did that go? 522 feet! No way! Oh my goodness, what a blast!
Out of the park.
Wow, McDonald Jr. with the 2-run shot, and it is now 10-0. And this one through the gap on the left side, and the damage continues here. San Antonio gets another batter on with 2 outs. And finally, the second baseman able to make the play and get them out of this inning. But San Antonio gets 4 more on the board, 10-0. Bottom of the 6th we go. Still no score for New Orleans, as that is a leadoff base hit up the middle for Cross Erickson, and we now move to the top of the lineup with W.R. Wolf. Wolf striking out, runner first still for Park Factors with 1 out. And a pass ball allowed the runner to move to second. We now have the runner in scoring position. And a walk here for Factors, and we might have some trouble here for Makudowicz as they're now deep in the yellow on their stamina. And an infield single here, and that's going to juice the bases. And a strikeout. Oh boy, 2 outs now. And here we go, Todd Hafner, bases loaded. Hafner, hard hit ball towards the left side. Grand slam, home run for New Orleans. Makes the score now 10-4. Todd Hafner getting it done for New Orleans. Wow. What a hit. And this one's hit to deep center field, but this one doesn't have the distance. That one is going to be caught. New Orleans puts 4 on the board. It is now 10-4. Top of the 7th we go with Sarah.
All right. Is Polo grounds bad? Is strongly cooked? Many different questions here as Brian Eshelman steps up, and that is going to be out of here, 485 feet, which is totally a legitimate home run this ballpark, as Brian Eshelman manages to make it 11-4. Oh man, just the Park Factors here or something. Park Factors, as an actual Park Factors, not the Orleans players. And now that's going to be a fly out left field by Ezra Oatmeal. Sneaky Snack gonna strike out, so now it's 2 outs for Anchovy 2-2. It's going to be hit to the shortstop. That's going to be out. And now we're on the bottom 7th with Just Sarcasm now coming in. John Kennedy Jr. Coming in for San Antonio as the reliever here. This kind, 0-2 count, going to strike out. Cross Erickson going to come in here. Striking out as well, so that's going to end the 7th inning. And now we go on the top of the 8th. 3-1 count. Trevor Knight's going to take a walk out first base. Chris Jimenez now stepping up. 1-1 count. Going to hit one. That is going to hit the wall. And now runners are going to be on second base and third base. So 2 runners in scoring position now for Bobby McDonald Jr. They're staying today. And that's going to be a deep left field. It's going to get to it. They're going to try and tag it. And it's going to be out.
Wow.
Caught base running error results in an out, and Pork Chop Sanchez is gonna strike out here. Still 11-4 here in bottom of the 8th. Now, they're not gonna get that one. It's gonna be a muff here for us. Sneaky Stack 2-2 count. Park Factor is gonna strike out. Eddie Gar now 1-1 count. That is gonna be a fly ball to left fielder. Ted Weffington. From first, gonna hit one second baseman, gets to it, gonna throw out first, and that is gonna end the inning with the Pork Chop Sanchez put out. So the Slavs, if they need any more insurance runs, now would be the time. Valve Sweet Dot here, stepping up. Gonna take strike number 3 and looking, and Brian Eshelman here with a solo earlier, 1-2. Gonna hit a ground ball to second base. That's gonna be out number 2, as well as your Oatmeal here. 3-0 count is gonna take a walk. Sneaky Snack now also stepping up. 0-2 count it is, and it's gonna strike out here. So now we got into New Orleans, who has to score 7 runs in the bottom 9th, which is indeed possible. Now Ted Hafner steps in. The hot hitter 2-1 count is gonna hit to center field, and that's going to be first out. Nigel Ortega 0-2 count is going to strike out, and we're now down to our last out. Just Stargasm here is going to be going to try to keep it alive at least. 3-2 count is going to take a walk, so now the duty is placed on Nice Kind, who is on 2-2 count, going to fly one out to left field, and that is going to be caught for the final out. And the Slavs are going to win game number 3, a 2-1 lead in the World Series. And now looking at the box score, so Anchovy goes 2 for 4 with 2 runs. 3 RBIs for Trevor Knight, 3 for 5 for Chris Jimenez with 2 RBIs. 2 RBIs for Bobby McDonald Jr., 3 for 5 for Pork Chop Sandwiches. And then 2 hits for Ezra Oatmeal and Sneak Snack. Now on New Orleans side, we have 2 hits and 4 RBIs with Todd Hafner. And for pitching, we have Swanley Maikuwas getting the dub here, 4 runs, 6 innings pitched. John Cameron Jr. gets a 3-inning save. With no hits, by the way. Also, Steve Bouchard gets the loss here, final run with 2 innings pitched. And Todd Hafner's your player of the game.
Wow. All right,
Amazing.
game number 3 now in the books. Let's go ahead and do a file save, and we'll go ahead and move on to our next sim day so we can take a look at our stamina. Let's go ahead and start with the sloths since they are already up. Starting off with their scheduled starter, Todoroki. Todoroki's at 96% rested, so pretty good for Todoroki. Moving on to the relievers, Khan at 91% rested, Salmon Todio at 93% rested, 100% rested here for Mwenda. Camden Jr. is at, 24% rested. And finally, Rodriguez is at 100% rested. So it looks like Camden Jr. is really the only really tired player for the sloths. Moving over here now to the Rougarous. Let's take a look at theirs. And started off with their scheduled starter, Straight Gas Homie, at 100% rested. Over here on the reliever side, 27% rested for Bravo. Yakul Red is at 87% rested. Bright is at 96% rested. Pax Torrent is at 53% rested. Jethro Tull is at 67% rested. Chank Daly is at 13% exhausted. And finally, Aiden Medul is 100% rested. So we're going to go ahead and take a look now. I'm going to look in the Discords and see if we have any updates here for game number 4.
Yeah, we're going to have a change right now.
Okay,
Yeah,
so let me go ahead
Discord.
and before I get that, let me fix the top text here, and we'll just go ahead and change that there. There we are. All right, and let me go ahead and pull up Discord and see what these changes are. Starting off with the sloths, I don't see anything yet from Juosu. We'll look at the Rougarous. All right, so switch to 2-man rotation. Move Bouchard to middle relief normal usage. All right, so we're going to move Bouchard over here, and we're going to make them middle relief normal usage. And we'll move them up with the other middle relievers. Whoops. And there they go. All right, and then we have a 2-man rotation. There we are, and Homie should be starting game number 4, and they are. All right, so any other settings I can do there for you, Rougarous, please let me know, Eldorian. And looking now at the sloths, and changes, no changes for the sloths. So
sloths are good to go.
Sloths are good to go. So we're just now waiting on the Rougarous for game number 4, as we can go ahead and take a look now at our lineups.
Good to go.
Rougarous are just waiting here for, looks like Philly fans typing something.
Oh, okay.
All right, and it looks like Rougarous are good to go. So we're going to take a look now at our matchups, and if we can go ahead and get a prediction going for game number 4. Looks like we have it going over-under on total home runs. I couldn't tell how many of those were. Let's see, that was 2.5. 2.5. So is it going to be 3 home runs or more? 2 home runs or less? Now's your chance to get in your channel points to make a prediction for game number 4. As we take a look at our pitchers, we have Shoto Todoroki, who got the win in the first game and is now 2-1 with a 3.68 ERA versus Straight Gas Homie, who's now 1-3 with a 3.45 ERA. San Antonio leads the series 2-1. Taking a look at our batting lineups here, back to the different lineup we had before with Ezra Oatmeal. Jet Stargasm now it has the advantage over Ezra Oatmeal down here at the 7th position instead of the 3rd position with Bobby McDonald Jr. Being switched out. So looks like that is all good. I'm going to take a look at our predictions, see how much time is left. We've got about another 2 minutes. I guess if the moderators can go ahead and close out here, and we'll give you about 30 more seconds. So let's go ahead and talk about the series here so far. 2-1. Sloss had the advantage. Let's start off with Sarah. Sarah, crazy series so far. Lots of high-scoring games. What's your thoughts?
I'd be worried the New Orleans bullpen's gassed.
Yeah, there was a lot of them in the middle range there, low, yeah. Going to be probably the decider here in this game because, not only do you have this game 4, but then you also have the game 5 as well. Just another, so there's no rest day for game number 5 as well. So, if Sloss can put up a high-scoring game here, it could mean, even if they do go home for some reason at game 6, that could really play into their advantage. Lumosity fan, crazy
Yeah.
World Series, 2-1, not a sweep so far. New Orleans able to get that win. What's your thoughts on 3 games in?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, obviously it's a pretty close series, but I think that because of what happened in Game 3, I think pitching wise, the slots definitely have the advantage. But anything can happen in a World Series. So you never know.
All right. Well,
One
go
more
ahead.
comment before you
Uh-huh.
go.
Sure.
Yeah, apologies in advance. The bullpen for New Orleans may be gas, but at least they have straight gas.
Oh,
All right.
I
Well,
see now.
there
That's
we
good.
go. Sarah getting the
Good.
joke in there. All right, so we're gonna go get started for game number 4. We have Anchovy, our first batter up, and playing in New Orleans again in the Polo Grounds. And here we go. San Antonio starting us off.
Alright, so gonna be Anchovy leading off.
Oh no, this one's mine. Oh, you're right. You're
Wait,
right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
okay,
You're
it's
right.
gonna be a
No.
lead-off double here as Anchovy's gonna make it to second base.
Whoops.
Alright, Trevon Knight stepping up. 0-1 count is gonna be a wild pitch. It's gonna allow a run to get on Fruit already in first inning. As Trevon Knight is gonna strike out, leaving Bobby Don Jr. up. No count, gonna hit 1-2 shortstop. That they're not gonna throw to home, so Anchovy makes it home. Bobby Don Jr. gets the RBI sacrifice. Pork chop sandwich is now stepping up. Gonna hit one. That one's gonna land in left field, and that's gonna be single. Field Sweet Dot now coming up as Pork Sandwiches make a second. Pork Sandwiches is gonna be safe. Sweet Dot gonna be a strikeout, as that is gonna end the inning. Now WR Wolf coming up here. That's gonna be hit deep. That is gonna hit to the deepest part of the ballpark, 120 feet, and that is gonna be a home run. As we're now tied in the bottom of the first.
That's 6 feet further than that other one in the last game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Out
I mean,
of the
like,
park.
you gotta hit a corner. I mean, that is, I wouldn't want to be there. Anyways, Eddie Carr is now gonna strike out. Oh no, if it were a fielder who had to run like to that corner,
Yeah.
I'd rather it
Right.
go out. I'd rather
Well,
go
it's a double
out.
anyway. It's just like
Yeah,
whatever.
and
It's not worth the
it
effort.
might be
Yeah.
it's an inside the home
Yeah,
park
you might as
home run.
well.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a strikeout here for Ruger. Now we go back to his loss. Eshelman stepping up here is gonna a strikeout, but the ball's gonna go back to backstop, and it's gonna be a strikeout, but running is gonna be out first. Now that is gonna be a driving catch instead of field. A play out by Oatmeal. Big Vito, 3-2 count. Gonna take a walk here. Runner's gonna be up first and second. Yeah, sneaky snack here with runs, 2 runners on base. It's gonna hit one. That is gonna be hit to the wall. Easy double for sneaky snack. One run's gonna score. They're gonna try to score the other run. There's gonna be no challenge. The Sloths are gonna lead 3-1. And now Anchovy is gonna line one now to third base. Trevon Knight pops one up. Pitcher's gonna call for it, and that is gonna end the inning. Now New Orleans is up again. Todd Haffer, a hot hitter, steps up. Gonna hit one. That is gonna be deep to center field. Center field is gonna call for it. Gonna be caught. Nigel Ortega gonna be taking a walk now. So run out first for Chad Stargasm here. 1-2 count. Gonna be hit deep to center field.
Oh.
And that
Way in the back.
is extremely deep, as they're gonna stop at second. As runner's gonna make it home,
I can't believe
and
that.
it's gonna be 3-2 here for the Sloths. Are still maintaining lead. 1-2 count, strikeout for the Cross Erickson, and now next kind here 2-2 count. Gonna get a single to left field. Now they're gonna try to score. It's gonna be a tight game here. Both sides going tick for tack. As this kind hits a RBI single here, as WR Wolf is gonna ground out to third base, and they're gonna get fielder's choice. Now we're gone to the top of the third here with Bob McDonald Jr. It's gonna hit one. That is gonna be at the wall as the fielder glishes through that one. 1-2 count is have pork chop sandwiches hit a single center field. Fiapolo Sweet Dot 0-1 count. And they're gonna do a pitch out. Wow, what a good read here, but they're gonna be thrown out. Sweet Dot it's gonna catch the second baseman sleeping here. And that one's gonna be hit deep. And that is out. That is far away. There's no way that's just
Out of the
225
park.
feet. But the
No, that-
Sloths are just gonna take the victory lead here. This ballpark is something else. Now Ezra O'Meal is coming in 1-2 count.
well,
It's gonna strike out, and that is gonna end the inning here. New Orleans here trying to get 2 runs again, like as per patterns dictate. Eddie Gard now steps up. Is gonna hit
oh
one.
boy.
That is gonna make it in center field. Perk factors here. With run on first is gonna pop 1-2 in left field. That's gonna be caught easily by McDonald Jr. Wolfington is gonna hit 1-2 second base, and they're not gonna attempt the throw as they had to run in for that. Todd Hafner hits 1-2 right field. That's to be caught. Runners are gonna tag. Nigel Ortega 0-2 count strikes out, and New Orleans is gonna be scoreless or buying third. Now we go on to Lumasa fan for the 4th inning.
Yes, top of the 4th inning, we go with Big Vito, and that's a ground ball to second to first for the out. Next up is Sneaky Snake with a full count, and he will take a walk. So runner on first with 1 out here for Anchovy, and oh, whoa, that's a hit. Wow, that's a pickoff.
Wow.
Wow, and that's a fly ball. Let's see, and oh, nice catch there. So San Antonio unable to score. We head to the bottom of the 4th with Sargas. I mean, he will get a fly ball that the right fielder will make a leaping catch. What a catch to get the out there. And that's a strikeout by Cross Erickson looking. Next up is Ness Kind. And he will strike out as well. So a scoreless inning for New Orleans as we head to the top of the 5th with Trevon Knight. And that's a base hit into the gap and all the way into the left-hand corner. And that is a double. The runner in scoring position with no out now for a full count. And that's a walk by McDonald Jr. The Bowie's already starting to convince for puck stop sandwiches. And that's a fly ball. Oh boy, let's see. Oh wow. Oh my goodness. That's a 3-run shot for sandwiches. What
Out
a
of the
moonshot.
park.
476 feet. Amazing. And commence the booze. Next up is Suadot on a full count, and that's a fly ball that the right fielder will catch for the out. Next up is Eshelman, and he will get a weird swinging fly ball to the whoever gets it. That's an out. Next up is Oatmeal, who will get a ground ball to first to the bag for the out, but 3 runs in the top of the 5th inning, and San Antonio leads now 8-3. Next up is Wolf, and that's a fly ball, and that's into the gap, into that, whatever they call that. I actually don't know. That's a double somehow.
The box.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Next up is Gar, and that's a ground ball to short for the out. Runner stays at second for park factors. And that's a fly ball that is caught by the left fielder there. Runner stays at second for Wolfington, and that's a fly ball out. Oh, that is out of here. Wow. 2-run shot for Wolfington, and the Rougarou answered somewhat back. It's 8-5.
Out of the
Oh, it wasn't
park.
500 feet.
Ah, so close. Next up is Hafner, and he will take a walk. So runner on first with 2 out now for Ortega, and that's a fly ball that is caught by the right fielder there to end the inning. But the Rougarou would get a bit closer as they head to the top of the 6th. 4 starting pitchers. And that's a strikeout for Big Vito. Next up is Snake. And that's a ground ball to third to first for the out. Next up is Anchovy. And that's a fly ball to the right field that is caught for the final out of that inning. So we head to the bottom of the 6th. And that's a strikeout swinging by Jet Stargasm. Cross Erickson now. And that's a stringing strikeout there for him. Next up is Ness Kind. And that's a fly ball to the shortstop there for the out. So we head to the top of the 7th now.
All right, Knight, McDonald Jr., and Sandwiches coming up for the Sloths. Trying to hold on to their 3-run lead here. This one's hard hit towards the right side, going towards the warning track, and is caught for out number 1. We'll take a strikeout looking for McDonald Jr., and that'll bring up Sandwiches, 2 outs. Pork chop. Tapper to the pitcher, and a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the 7th, stretch time we go here in New Orleans, down by 3. We have Wolf, Gar, and Factors. And pitching change as Konstantin Khan comes in for the Sloss and gives up a walk straight away to Wolf. Wolf has got 5 stolen bases, trying to go for number 6 in the postseason, and they got him. Pickoff of Wolf at second, and that might be costly for the Rougarous as that's a fly out there to the right field for Gar. Out number 2, Park Factor striking out, and just like that, San Antonio gets out of that inning. Top of the 8th they go, up by 3 still. Suidot, our first batter up, hard hit ball towards deep center field, and 511 feet, and the hits just keep on coming here at the Polo Grounds as another 500-foot-plus home run makes the score 9-5 Sloss. Eshelman now. Eshelman to the shortstop. They might beat that one out. No, shortstop gets the play in time, 1 out. And a strikeout from Ezra Oatmeal brings up Big Vito with 2 outs. Vito towards the right field line, down the line. That'll be a base hit. Vito on with 2 outs brings up Sneaky Sneck. Sneck towards the center field, and what a catch! Wow, who was that? That was Cross Erickson making the great play for New Orleans. Gets him out of that inning, but San Antonio gets another one on. Down by 4 now, and a leadoff strikeout for Wolfington. 5 outs remaining for the Rougarous here, as Hafner is going to pop one up on the left side for out number 2. Ortega up. And Ortega strikes out, and 3 outs remaining for New Orleans. As we move now to the top of the 9th, will San Antonio add some more insurance as we're at the top of the order with Anchovy. Anchovy striking out, and now Trevon Knight with 1 out. Knight will take the walk, and we now have a runner on first with 1 out for McDonald Jr. Knight going to second, and they're going to be safe, and Knight now with 6 stolen bases in the postseason. This one hit to the third baseman. Knight stays a second out. 2 outs now with pork chop sandwiches. Runner in scoring position, and that's going to drop in front of the center fielder. Runner coming around to score, and they're easily able to make the throw at home, get the runner out, and that will retire the side. 4 runs remaining to tie the game. Bottom third of the order. Stargasm, Cross Erickson, and Kine. Stargasm striking out. 2 outs left. Cross Erickson. Erickson through the gap on the right side, and that'll be a base hit. Need some more of those as we get a pitching change as Buenda coming in as this one's hit deep towards the right field. That is caught before the warning track. 2 outs. Last chance now. Top of the lineup. WR Wolf striking out, and the San Antonio Sloss win game number 4 and take a 3-1 advantage now in the series, winning this game 9-5. Let's go ahead and take a look at our box scores for this 4th game. Starting off with San Antonio. We have a 4-for-5 day with 3 RBIs from pork chop sandwiches, 2 runs scored from Suidot, 2 runs, 2 RBIs from Eshelman, and 2 RBIs off of 1 hit from Sneaky Sneck. Over on the New Orleans side, 2 runs, 2 hits, and an RBI for WR Wolf, 2 hits, 2 RBIs for Wolfington, and it looks like a home run here for Jet Stargasm, if I'm correct as well. No, it's just a single hit run and RBI. Looking at the pitching in for San Antonio, Shoto Todoroki gets their 2nd win of the series and now moves to 3-1 in the postseason. Konstantin Khan getting the hold there. And on the other side for New Orleans, Straight Gas Homie takes their 2nd loss of the series, now a 1-4. But Pork Chop Sandwiches is your player of the game. All right, let's go do a file save, and we'll take a look at our stamina for game number 5. And starting off here with the Rougarous, we'll go ahead and do theirs first, as Gristle McThornbody is the scheduled starter. They are at 100% rested. Looking over here at our relievers, Bravo is at 67%, Yakul Red is at 96%, Bright is at 20% exhausted, Pax Torrent is at 24% exhausted, Jethro Tull is at 42% tired, CC Bouchard is at 64% slightly tired, Tank Daly is at 60% tired, and finally Aiden McDougall is 100% rested. So some big trouble here in the middle relief portion of the Rougarous bullpen here. Now we're going to take a look at the Sloss, and our scheduled starter for the Sloss is going to be Glenn Davies, and Glenn Davies is at 100% rested. Looking at our pitching, Konstantin Khan is at 53% slightly tired, Sam Antonio is at 98% rested, Buendia is at 96% rested. Camden Jr. is at 67% rested, and Marin Rodriguez is at 100% rested. All right, so there is our stamina for both of our teams. I'm going to take a look now at Discord and see if we have any changes now for game number 5. Before I do that, let me go ahead and fix the top text again.
Both teams are good. They
Both?
said in the yes.
Okay.
We are good. We are good. Good we are.
Good.
Various
Good.
various renditions of that
All right,
phrase.
let me just take a look.
I
Just
appreciate
to
that.
make sure McThornbody is starting number 5, and I believe that was the case. We'll go back here
Yes.
to the scores.
Yep.
There
Are
we
we
go.
good?
That is good. All right, and all right. So looks like both teams are good, and so we're gonna get started here with game
Nope.
number 5. Go back to their screen. And all right, so let's see here. So this one would be I guess it would be me starting, and then Sarah, and then Lumosity. All right, so here we go. Game number 5, San Antonio only needs one more win here with 3 games to go. Will they be able to do it? We do have our prediction up, and asking, will we go to a game number 6? Yes or no? Time to get in your predictions now. But while that is going, let's take a look at our pitching matchups. Glenn Davies for the Sloths, who won their game number 2, and now 2-0 on the postseason with a 5.33 ERA versus Gristle McThornbody, who took the loss earlier, 1-1 now with a 6.39 ERA. Looking at our batting lineups here, I believe it should be moved back up to the third and first. It is now. So Jimenez, even though they are not the higher ranked batter here, they are the only hot hitter from both lineups. So we'll see if that comes into play. But it is a 7-2 advantage for the Sloths. Sloths do have the advantage of pitching with the 80 overall versus the 74 overall for McThornbody. So we'll see if Glenn Davies can capitalize on that. But we do have, let's see how much more times here. We have about another minute remaining. We'll go ahead and go around the round table here. 4 games in the books now. Sloths 1 win away. Lumosity fan, pretty crazy. You think we might go to a game number 6? What's your thoughts? Uh-oh. Well, I guess Lumosity fans AFK, so we'll try Sarah.
Oh yes, hi.
Oh,
Sorry.
no problem. So 4 games in, moving on to game number 5. Sloths with the advantage. Only 1 game to go to win the whole thing. What's your thoughts so far?
Yeah, it's really showing how much stronger, in my opinion, the San Antonio offense is compared to the New Orleans Rougarous offense, because they've basically every game they've won has been basically beat down the other team kind of way. But I mean, 3-1. I mean, teams have come back from 3-1 before, so this will be a crucial one, obviously, for the Rougarou to win.
Absolutely. And for Sarah, this is the last game at the Polo Grounds. Pretty crazy games we've had here so far.
Aren't you glad I reminded you?
Yes, we get all the extra fun just from switching the park.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's not like I mean, we'll really have to see. I think this loss just like the pitching has like kind of showed more than the Rougarou, and also like no, the Rougarou are very good at finding creative ways. I just don't know how that is gonna work right now, considering like the holder. And I think that if the Rougarou do win this one, they do have a good shot to come back though. So like this is probably the biggest test.
Yep, especially here at home. They got to get one here at home to be able to get something going. All right. So here we go. Game number 5. 4 games in. We're going to get started with the Sloths with the 3-1 advantage. Anchovy is going to be our first batter up, as here we go. Starting off with the last game in New Orleans at the Polo Grounds in this crazy ballpark. Whoever picked this ballpark, I'm guessing as Phillies fan picked this ballpark. I mean, it looks nice, but the play is so crazy. As we're going to get out number 1 here for this loss. Check swing strikeout from Trayvon Knight gives us 2 outs already for Jimenez up. Jimenez towards center field. Oh no, right field. Sorry, as that one is caught, and that is a 1-2-3 inning for San Antonio. And we now move to the bottom of the first. New Orleans up. This hard-hit ball towards center field, past the center fielder, bounces against the back wall, and that's going to be a leadoff double for W.R. Wolf. And a walk here from Gar. We now have 2 runners on for Park Factors with no outs. Park Factors striking out. Now for the first out, we bring up Tedford Wolfington with 2 on. And did they get the runner at third? Oh, yes, the try and steal, and they get the runner at third, as they're going to get the runner here as well. And just like that, San Antonio is able to get out of the inning with no damage done. Top of the second we go now. McDonald Jr. up. And strikes out looking, and that'll be out number 1 for Pork Chop Sandwiches. Pork Chop do the gap in the right side, and Pork Chop's on with a base hit. Suadot with 1 on, and Suadot will take a walk here as well. And now Eshelman with 1 out, 2 on. Eshelman to the shortstop, the 6, the 4, the 3, the double play, and the Rougarous get out of that inning. Nice defense there from the Rougarous, able to keep that one contained as we now move to the bottom of the second, and this will be a fly out to the left side for Todd Hafner, who had the grand slam in the earlier game. This one by Ortega way deep, and that is back in the back of the park here, as that one has to be one of the longest homers ever hit. Did it say how long? It did not, but we'll just take their word for it based on what we've seen here. You know, it could be 540 feet or something like that. We don't know, but that's another base hit by New Orleans, and with just 1 out, they have another runner on, going to second, and they're going to be safe with that steal. And Cross Erickson now striking out. 2 outs now for Ness Kine with the runner in scoring position. And Ness Kine striking out as well, but New Orleans gets on the board first. It is 1-0, top of the third we go. Ezra Oatmeal now. Hard hit ball towards the gap on the left side, bouncing up against the back wall there. This could be a triple. And they're coming around for 3, and they slide in, and that is going to, whoa, did you see that ball roll underneath the field? No problems here, as this is going to be a fly out to center field. Oh boy, that goes over the center fielder's head, and that gives a runner ability to score. And it is now 1-1, and they did not count that as an error, as this one is hit towards the right side, over the gap on the right side, and that will be a RBI double. The San Antonio now 2-1 with Anchovy getting it done. Anchovy in scoring position now as Trevon Knight gets the walk, and hot hitter Chris Jimenez with no outs, 2 on. Jimenez, hard hit ball towards deep center field, going towards the box, bounces over the center fielder's head, and 1 runner comes in, 2 runners in scoring position now. McDonald Jr. coming up 3-1 San Antonio. Infield playing in, as this is going to be a fly out to center. Runner tags and the throw, and they're going to be safe. And it is now 4-1 San Antonio. Pork Chop Sandwiches, runner in scoring position, 2 outs. Hard hit ball towards right field, going back behind the fence. And
fascinating. Yeah, that's a glitch. They're dishing it out from the crowd.
Ground rule double, as we now have runners at.
Oh boy.
And it is locked up.
And it's a stand-up double. That is a stand-up double, okay.
There we go. All right, runner going to third with the steal, and there's the infield playing in here. And we'll get a walk. Runners at the corners, 5 runs this inning with only 1 out. Eshelman, hard hit ball towards the right side in the gap. 1 run comes home, 2 runs coming home, and Eshelman coming in with a 2 RBI triple. They might have been able to get an inside the park home run the way they were running there. Ezra Oatmeal up now, 7-1 Sloss. Ezra getting the walk, and oh boy, big trouble here for CC Bouchard. And we'll get a runner going to second, and they're going to get the steal. 2 runners in scoring position now to the first baseman. Runs over, makes the place. 2 outs, but top of the order, Anchovy coming up. Dangerous hitter, Anchovy. And this one's hit in the gap on the right side. That's a base hit. 1 run comes home to score, and Anchovy's going to get an RBI, and it is now a 9-run inning, 9-1. Anchovy going for second, and they're going to come in with the stand-up steal, not even an attempt to throw. Runner in scoring position to the shortstop, and finally, the Rougarous get out of that inning. But 9 runs are scored by San Antonio. We now move to the bottom of the third with their backs against the wall. 3-1, down by 8 runs. Need to get something going here as W.R. Wolf gets thrown out for out number 1. And that's going to be an infield single. Park Factors now 1. Oh, Park Factors getting the walk. And we now 2 on with 1 out. And they're going to get the, I thought they were going to get the double play. Runners at the corners with 2 outs for Todd Hafner, who had the grand slam earlier. Foul ball left side. What was that? as they catch that way past over there in the corner, and that'll retire the side. 3 innings, 9-1, and here's Sarah, top of the fourth.
Well, 3-2 count here. Just a minute. Now stepping up here, by Madon Jr. Is gonna also strike out. 2 straight strikeouts for Sierra Bravo. Stepping in, Butch, and now we have a pop up. It's gonna be caught almost out of the screen here. In right field foul ground territory, and that is gonna be 1-2-3 inning for the Slavs. Now Uguru here, down by 8. Nigel Ortega now gets a ground out to the pitcher. Just Dargasm here. Hits one. That is deep, and that's gone. I can't tell anymore these animations. And with that, New Orleans gets their second run of the
Out
game,
of
and
the park.
now they're only down by 7 runs here as we have Cross Erickson come up to the plate. It's gonna be hit to shortstop. This kind gets a walk. So WR Wolf now runner on first. That is going to drop his center field. Runner is going to be on first and second now for Eddie Gar, who has a 1-2 count, strikes out, and that is going to end the 4th inning. Now on to the 5th inning here is Valpo Sweet Dot. Hits one. Right fielder is going to call for it. Going to get near the warning track. The short warning track. Now Brian Eshelman is going to ground out to the first baseman, and that is going to get caught by the pitcher. And then Ezra O'Meal is gonna take the line out here for the third out. 1-2-3 go down this loss, and now here we have a deep fly ball by Park Pack that's in concert field. And wolfing the head and that is deep. That is gone right above the fence. 415 feet apparently, and that is gonna be out of here for the third run.
Out of the park.
Here. Now they're just down by 6 as we have 2 more outs here in this inning to go. Todd Hafner now stepping in 1-2 count. Gonna strike out for the second out now. 1-1 count. Nigel Ortega hits what center fielder is gonna call for, and that is gonna be an out. And the 5th, top of the 6th now, and that is hit deep.
Wow.
And that is out of here. See, it's a 501 feet home run. Yeah. All the animations are slightly different here, which throws me off. As that is going to be a 10-3 lead now for Slavs. Strikeout for Anchovy, as per usual. Trevor Knight now steps up, 1-0 count. As Cheng Ding is going to now come in for Ruguru. That is going to get caught in by center field, 1-2 count. Chris Menace strikes out. That's going to end the inning here. And now we go on the bottom 6 here with just Dargasm bottom line. 1-1 count. Gonna be a ground out to the shortstop. That is gonna be thrown out for a first out. Cross Erickson, 0-1 count. Is gonna ground out to the second baseman for the second out. That's kind. Gonna get a ground out to for second out. And that is gonna end the inning here. And as we go now to the Lumasi fan.
Yes, top of the 7th here in New Orleans. Top of the 7th here with Bobby McDonald Jr. on a full count, and he will get a fly ball. Oh boy, and that's in. Wow, that's gone. 480 feet.
Out of the
yeah, these
park.
animations are whack.
Have you noticed the mowing lines on this field? Looks like somebody drunk mowed the lines here.
Oh yes. 11-3 now for San Antonio as we have pork chop sandwiches up the bat, and he will take a walk. So, I'm running on first with no out here for Suadot. And he will get a fly ball. Oh boy, is that gonna... Oh, and it's over his head. Oh no, he's caught it. Whoa, okay, so that's an out there. That's an amazing catch. That's a stolen base attempt, and he is out.
Whoa.
Wow. So 2 nice plays back to back, and that's that's a walk there for Eshelman. And Oatmeal will be in the batter's box now, and he'll take a walk now. So runners on first and second with 2 out now for Snake. And that's a base hit. Runner will come around to score. Oh! And wow, what a play. So they stopped the bleeding there. But it's 11-3 now in the bottom of the 7th now. New Orleans will have W.R. Wolf up the bat now. And that's a base hit up the left field side, and he will hold there for a single. Next up is Gar. He's stolen base attempt, and he is safe. Next up, and that's a ground ball to first to the bag for the out. Runner goes to third there. John Camden Jr. now in the game for San Antonio, and that's a weird ground ball, and that is a hit there. So that is a run for New Orleans. It's 11-4 now. And that's a stolen base attempt, and he is safe. So couldn't get a handle on that ball. And that's oh no, the center fielder just stands there and gets the out there. Runner holds at second for Hafner, and that's a fly ball that is caught out there by the left fielder there. So New Orleans getting one closer. We head to the top of the 8th with Chovy up the bat. First out of is Knight, and that's another swinging strike by Knight. Next up is the hot Jimenez, and he gets a ground ball to second to first for the out there. So a 1-2-3 inning for McDougal. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. First up is Ortega, and that's a fly ball. It is not out of there. Chovy able to grab it. Sargasm will get a fly ball to center field that is caught out there for the second out. Next up is Cross Erickson, who will get a swinging ground ball. Oh, and he's safe. Wow. So that's an infield hit for Erickson. And then boots it by the third baseman. He is safe.
Fumble
So runners on first and
bumble.
second with 2 out, and that is a nice play by the third baseman there to end the inning. So last chance for San Antonio to add to their lead. Next up is Bobby McDonald Jr. And he will get a ground ball to short to first for the out there. Next up is Pork Chop Sandwiches, who will hit a ground ball to first that will throw to the pitcher for the out there. 2 out now for Suadat. And that's a walk there. So runners on first with 2 out for Escherman. And that's a base hit up the left field line, and the runner will hold it first and second with 2 out. And Oatmeal will fly, oh boy, and it's into the gap and a base hit and down to the wall. And that's 1 run, 2 runs will score. Runner going for third, and he's safe. 2 runs now. It's 13-4, and that's probably going to be it for the game. Well, and that's a base hit. That's just as I said that, another run comes in for San Antonio. I love how that happens. So 14-4 now. Oh boy. Jethro Tull's in the game now. And that's a walk by Chovy. So runners on first and second with 2 out now for Knight. And that's a base hit down the right field line. 1 run will score. The other one will score as well. So 2 runs now, 16-4. Oh boy.
Ouch.
Next up is Chris Jimenez. And that's a fly ball that should be caught, and it is. So 5 runs in the 9th. That's a nice cap away to a probable victory here. But we'll see what happens. 12 runs. And that's a nice catch by the shortstop there. Marin Rodriguez is in the game now. And that's a nice hit through the left side, so you never know. That's
Hopes
Park
alive.
Factors with a single. Yep. Tedford Wolfington will get a walk here. So runners on first and second when 1 out for Hafner. And that's a fly ball that should be able to be caught out there by the left fielder. Last chance for New Orleans to keep their World Series hopes alive. Ortega will get a ground ball to short to first, and that is a ball game the San Antonio Slots have repeated as World Series champions.
Wow. What a performance.
That is a
I
way
just want
to
say, if I had a nickel for every time the game made a 100 KP reliever finish out a playoff series, I have 2 nickels. I mean, like, isn't much, but I'm surprised there are 2 in the first place. Anyways.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just call off the box scores now. Anchovies goes 2 for 5, 2 RBIs. Trevon Knight is going 1 for 5 with 2 RBIs. 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs here. Pocono Sanchez is 2 for 4. 3 walks here for Trevon Knight. Sorry for foul plus 3. Eshelman goes 2 for 4 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs. 2 for 3 with 3 runs and 2 RBIs for Ezra Oatmeal. Sneaky Stack 4 for 5 with 4 RBIs. Normal side 3 for 5 for WR Wolf. 2 for 4 for Park Factors, and 2 for 4 for Jet Sarcasm. Now, look at pitching. Glenn Davies takes a dub here, 4 runs, 6.1 innings pitch, 8 hits. Crystal McFormine takes a loss here, 6 run, 2.1 innings pitch. A lot of relievers were used, and Sneaky Snack is your player of the game. Who's the MVP here?
Ezra Oatmeal ties the Legends playoffs games record for triples with 2. Pretty impressive.
Triples in 1 playoff game. Wow. All right, let's go ahead and do a file save first, and then we'll take a look at that. And for our playoff coverage, our pork chop sandwiches.
Yeah, let's go pork chop.
Congratulations to Pork Chop Sandwiches, the Season 34 World Series MVP, and congratulations to Juosu and the San Antonio Sloths what an amazing season, coming back and getting the repeat. Now the season 34 Major League World Series champions. And congratulations to the Rougarous. Rougarous, they were one of the lowest seeds. They beat two great teams to be able to get to this point. What upsets they created along their way to get here. Nobody. I personally didn't think the Rougarous were going to get this far. I thought again it was going to be Seattle. It was going to be Seattle again. But with all those upsets in the champions bracket, it was just so crazy how this turned out. And the Sloths are just so dominant, especially on the offense. Such power, such great hitting, so many good hitters all the way up and down the lineup. And pretty decent pitching as well. But definitely the hitting of the Sloths, the high point in tonight's game, several games that it was like a 9 running inning here, a 5 running inning here, another 5 run inning there. Just so crazy how this went. But congratulations again to the San Antonio Sloths and the Amarillo Armadillos, who won earlier against the Puerto Rico Ranas to become your season 34 minor league world champions as well. But let's go ahead and let me just take just a second, make sure I do not have any outstanding DMs from anyone here in my Discord so that I can go ahead and get this uploaded. We'll get this started. Then we'll go around and talk about how this series went. So it looks like we're all good on that end. Let me go ahead and just start with this here. We should have both of these top rows checked. All 4 of those are checked. First and third rows here should be checked. Those 2 are checked. Those 3 here should be checked. And off we go. We'll just click OK here on this when it pops up. And there we are. So going around the round table here, Sarah, congratulations. Yet another World Series win. Another ring to add to the collection. How do you feel? I mean, this has got to be on top of the world here. 2 in a row. Can you do 3? That would be awesome.
You'd be surprised, but I feel nothing right now. I mean, I've said this. I'm already happy with 1 ring. This is 3rd ring is just a bit like I can't say until you have back career now. By all means, so that's something. But I mean, like, I'm glad for all the people, especially Dag, I know, who pretty much first ring ever. Honestly, Rougarou, basically surprising everybody. I feel like that's like the biggest storyline here. But they ruined a lot of people's TP this time, and I feel like they're basically still on. I mean, they were rebuilding, so like they're gonna get better eventually, right? So hopefully that is just a sign for more to come on their end. But right now, for me, I feel like it was kind of like I feel nothing anymore. I don't know what to say.
All right.
Hello.
Well, Juosu. Oh, do we have somebody in here?
Yep.
Chat with
GG
us?
came in.
Hey, let's go. I did it.
What? Oh,
How's it going?
Hello. How are you?
good.
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
Yeah, I imagine, right? Wow.
Mm.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. It's
what a night.
yeah, from going from never making the World Series for so many years to back-to-back titles. It's a weird feeling.
Juosu just mentioned in chat that you're now tied with DVS for the most World Series wins ever. So how's that feel? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's great. Love. I mean, obviously, it's a testament to how great Juosu's been in building this team. Yeah, I mean, she's been great. Love having her. So,
I joined this season I joined the PBE in season 11, and that was 24 seasons ago. And even back then, the Sloths, were always contenders. It always seemed like that, if they didn't get into the playoffs, they'd get in the very next season. They never really had any big droughts that I remember, but they were always competitive. And it just seems like, lately, the past 3 or 4 seasons, they've kind of cranked it up a notch and really, I thought that the Voyagers, it was their time. Enoch worked so hard to build that team together, but the Sloths just came in there and just kind of said, you know what, the Legends is kind of ours now, and it's just been that way for the past few seasons. Moving on to Lumosity, 2 World Series in the same day. You get to call the end here of the Major League World Series. How you feeling? This is a great series, right?
Yeah, no, it was a great feeling to get to call it. I was like, oh boy, the slot's up. It's like I get my chance. So that was a great feeling. I was like, please don't mess us up. I don't want to be this guy that's like everyone's memeing. And I'm joking. No, it's not serious. That was fun. To be able to call that
Absolutely.
moment.
Right. Well, so season 34 is now in the books. The Dillos winning earlier, beating the number one seed Ranas. The Seattle Sea Serpents unable to even make it to the World Series, being the number one seed. It was like a season of upsets. Some underdog teams that just came in and kind of, just turned this whole thing around. But let's see here. DG, what are your thoughts on a three-peat for next season? You going to be sticking around with this loss again?
I mean, yeah, I'm obviously gonna be staying. I know that there's a few players who, at the end of their career in this loss, that this was their last season. So extremely excited for them to go out with another ring. But I mean, it's still most of our team's still coming back, and um, I think we still look good for next season still. So
All right.
excited for that.
Well, okay. Well, we talked about this loss here. Let's take a second and talk about the Rougarous.
Mm.
6 seasons of not even being in the playoffs, being in an official rebuild mode, and to not only get to where they were, but to beat the teams that they did to get here. Just so amazing that they were able to get to this point. And I hate to say it, but this really kind of signals a change in the champions division, because for the longest time it was like the Toros were always fighting for that fourth spot, but now with the Rougarous, with their better team coming in next, even stronger, it looks like. It's a whole new landscape, and if I was Seattle and Nashville, I'd be kind of worried because you saw how the Rougarous did this season. What could they do next season? So we'll just have to see about that. But it does look like the
Oh,
upload
that's
is
quick.
now finished. So let's go ahead and click on the thing to get that uploaded to the index. Let me find that link real quick. And there we are. All right. So we'll just go ahead and click on this and pull this over so everybody can see that we are unzipping the page. And just waiting for that to pop up there. Any second now.
Fun.
There we go. The longer the season, the longer it takes. All right, so let's go ahead and pull up the index itself and just make sure that that gets updated. And we will be all good. So I want to thank everyone so much for joining us tonight. Amarillo Armadillos and the San Antonio Slosh, your World Series winners for season 34. What an amazing season. What a changing of the entire landscape of both the major league and the minor leagues. A lot of teams coming up, a lot of teams now in rebuild mode. So we'll have to see how that goes. But any last words? Let's go around the round table here before we sign up for the evening. Starting off with Sarah. Sarah, great night here. Congratulations again. Anything to say before we head out for the evening?
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Long day for both of you, I know. So thank you.
Yeah, it was hard.
I had no idea when I really thought about it that it was going to be this much pressure on both of you. I didn't, and then when I heard after the fact that after I had invited Luminosity to be on the majors, that they had already, signed up for the minors as well. So thank you both so much for being here with me tonight. I really appreciate it. Luminosity, any last words before we sign out for the night?
Yeah, I just want to say again, what a great opportunity that it was to be able to call this, and just exciting. I mean, obviously the World Series are always very exciting, so it was great. It was a great chance to be able to do this.
Absolutely. All right, and DG, congratulations again. Any last
Mm.
words before we sign out for the evening?
I'd like to say Dillo Dillo and Ghost Loss.
Dillo Dillo and Ghost Sloss. Well, DG, double recipient tonight. Congratulations to DG as a GM and as a player, getting 2 World Series rings tonight. But a couple last things to go over before we sign out for the evening. It is the end of the season, but you still have to get your point tasks in. Make sure tonight is the last night for this week's point task. So make sure to get those in.
Tomorrow.
Oh, what's that?
Tomorrow, isn't it? Saturday.
Yeah,
Oh, right. Yeah, but Saturday night is as far as getting it in before the update. I guess it doesn't matter now with the off season, but yeah, you're right.
yeah,
Oh,
One more night for that.
yeah.
And I forgot to sign up for the PT pass for the championship week, so
Oh,
I
Oh
am in.
yeah, click
I
no.
graduate.
can I still sign up for that, or is it too late? I'll have
I
to.
think it's it's
I
when
think you
it
can.
closes. So whenever that is, I
Okay,
don't know
well,
when that will be.
can one of you guys link that to me in Discord, and I'll check that later. But all right, so everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Congratulations one last time to the Amarillo Armadillos in the San Antonio Sloths, your minor league and major league World Series champions. Again, I'm your host with Legally Blind Gamer, Lumosity Fan, and Sarah joining us tonight. And we want to sign off for the night. Congratulations to both teams. I hope everybody enjoyed season 34, and we will see you next week for season 35 as we get back into the swing of things with a whole new draft, new players to get signed, and we'll see how that goes. But we should have an announcement up in the next couple days about the information on that. So everybody, enjoy your weekend. Congratulations to both teams again. Legally Blind Gamers signing off. Everybody have a good night.